Hey, what's going on, everybody? It is Derek here from In the Flow of Prosperity again. So, tonight I want to talk about effort and inspiration. I may have already touched on this a little bit, but what I pretty much want to let you know is that, I, I kind of got this already in vague ways from books and different just videos I've kind of watched before, but it really happened. See this right here? This Abraham Hicks. It really happened when I started reading those books that I figured out that the reason that we had so many money problems is, yeah, you see the crack up there on my thing. It's okay. But anyways, the reason that we had so many money problems, we're worried about money all the time, or if you currently are, is because we were taught at very young ages that effort is how you earn money. And that's true. That's how you earn money. That's the perfect word for it. That's true. But here's the thing. God gave us all this wonderful world, right? Okay. Or I like to say the universe gave us all this stuff to share. Okay. Now, the method by which we share it is totally optional because we're creators. Okay. But the wonderful thing about this is this: you do not have to receive money by effort. Of course, you are going to do something more than likely to receive the money, even though there's plenty of stories that I've read in these books and stuff like that where people have just received money out of nowhere because their willingness to put themselves in a place where they started to believe that it was possible, and that they pretty much changed over from thinking that the going and completing task and getting paid for it thing is the only way for the money to come to you. Hey, I'm not knocking anybody. I made plenty of money by going to work for other people, and I like the idea of living life on my own terms. Way better. And when I finally stopped trying to do what is expected of me from the outside, my life has not been the word I'm searching for. My wife has not been rainbows and dandelions, so to speak, but in a lot of ways it has been since I realized that. And I've been on unemployment, I think, a total of like 3 or 4 times. And the thing about it is that this time, though, after I figured this out, I don't feel guilty at all. I don't feel like I'm not a productive member of society because I read these stories and I know that plenty of millionaires don't go to work and have to do all these things. No, there's people who wake up and work for like 2 hours every day, dude. What you call work. They get up and they manage their money. They manage how things are flowing. And that's their day. And then what do they do with the rest of their day? Yes, exactly. Think about it. And I think that until the people who are earning money by effort alone and by having somebody to report to about it, that part's not the biggest issue of it all. But there shouldn't be a ceiling on your wealth. And when more of those people who are in the place of having to earn money instead of receive money, when they flip over to the receiving, there will be less billionaires and more millionaires. That's a bold statement, I guess, but really think about it and it makes a lot of sense. Um, yeah, dude, choose inspiration, okay? Here's the deal, because everything just kind of falls into place and you don't have a logical answer for it as much. The people on the outside will have that logical answer, but you won't anymore because you're so focused now on letting your inspiration come to you and then riding that wave of it. And at first, because you've been in a poverty consciousness for so long, The uncertainty of it is only um is only an outward concept, but it has been internalized. You've internalized it because from the youngest ages you watched your parents maybe go to work every day, come home, and even if they didn't complain, maybe just sit there at the table with a look like they're tired, like they're not happy with their life. And I just want to let you know, like, dude, like, no, you're not a bad person for finding out how to make more money with less effort, okay? Here's the deal: you don't have to be a taskmaster once you become wealthy. It's simple. But you know what? The best way to do that is to not be a taskmaster now. Like when I even was working on like I never have been one to see somebody doing something at all, taking a rest or whatever and be like, wow, they should be working. Because you don't even want to be there. Half the people that have done that before. Now, if I'm on like a task, or I know I've never been like a manager or anything. I think it kind of comes from that. It's not that I'm not ambitious. It's that I believe that we're not machines. We're human beings and we have emotions, and the way we feel tells us what to do a little bit. And you know what? I am fully committed. It's one of my goals for when everything flows in, that is going to flow in, to be able to make a new way for employees to be treated so that they can move up that ladder, man. And it's not even about, they will naturally be able to move up that ladder when they're treated with respect. It's not about that you have a 30-minute freaking break, dude. It's really this: people who are given the feeling of being appreciated when they need like a natural they have a natural thing come up or something pops up and they're treated with respect and understanding. And then if there's something going on, still told like, oh, how could we make this work? Can we make this work some kind of way? Because right now we need you or whatever. That's cool. When I've had managers or people like that say, hey, would you mind just doing this because of this and this? Oh yeah, no, is it cool if I take the 5 after? Yeah, it's cool. You can go out. At the time maybe I smoked cigarettes or whatever. I'm glad I don't anymore, man. I feel so more alive. But you know, that's the idea behind it all. Is I want to build my wealth by adding value to people, because I genuinely, in this heart right here, I do that and pound my chest because for a long time I've hurt for the people that I've watched hurt, because I've gone through, well, I'll just leave that out of it. We don't have to go through all that. So I've gone back and forth between being a part of the solution and, in a lot of ways, a part of the problem a lot of times. But I'm in a place of clarity now where I know that what I want to do is add value to people, because I literally think in my heart of hearts, um, by just what I've experienced and what I truly think about the universe we live in, is that everybody's actually valuable. Literally, everybody is valuable. It's, yeah, that's pretty much it, dude. Like, but effort, I believe there's a time and a place for it. Don't get me wrong. Like, uh, but I think, I'm pretty sure that behind it all, it is great to be able, it is great to be able to allow inspiration to hit you, because the more that you allow it to hit you, you'll also be able to self-induce it over time. And that's different than going to work somewhere, not enjoying it, and then allowing yourself to be treated a certain way that you don't enjoy even more, in a circular fashion, going on and on and on and on. You are not, any of you right now sitting at your mama's house, she's complaining at you, or any of those sort of things. You are not worthless. You are not a bum. Just because somebody else is working harder to get theirs, they may feel entitled over you. But let me tell you something, they are not. It's an illusion. Okay? You are worthy. I'm not saying sit there and don't do anything. I'm saying start following that trail, man. of your intuition. Start following your intuition. Start believing when you get that inspired feeling that everything is not lost and gone because of your outward circumstances. Because here's the deal that you've got to realize: out of every success book, out of every money book, out of every single law of attraction book, okay? I don't want to get too crazy or nothing like that, but I'm looking at you this way because I'm trying to get through to you on this. You are creating a world that is not the world that you live in now. That is the whole thing you are trying to do. You're trying to create the world that you don't live in, but you desire. So here's the thing: this world you're in now only matters so much as a catalyst to take you where you want to go. You are going to get there when you focus on it, what you want, without being attached so much. There is a hot spot somewhere in between here and there. Just wait. Anyways, I'm ready to tune off. I felt like that really got super rambly and stuff like that. But you know what? At the end of the day, I'm putting this content on here because I know that once I perfect this, how I put it out to people, and it's an ongoing process, but I mean, once I hit that spot where I'm gaining a lot of attention and people have heard about me, I want to be that person that I say I'm already wealthy. I want to tell people to say that I'm already wealthy, and you really are already wealthy. Doesn't matter where you are. There's so many resources. Even at one time, people may have been able to say that they didn't, but I'm gonna tell you like this, dude. I was homeless, and during the 9 months I was homeless, there were so many resources. Okay, they're there. They are there, dude. And it differs from place to place, but when you start to realize that you really are capable of moving in the direction that your heart calls you to, it's it's just beautiful. It really is beautiful. There's something going on. Like, you start to realize that the stories you've been told of intolerance and fear, now that they exist, but you start to realize that that thing about your will not being thwarted, that's a real thing. Like, something that I've still been going through. I haven't really been doing some of the things that I should have anyways, and I let myself get pulled into a situation that my intuition told me, but at the time I wasn't obviously that honed or whatever to acknowledge it and follow through with it. It told me, don't get involved. You've already separated yourself enough. But the pull of it brought me in, and I quit meditating like I was. I quit um, going through the motions that I already was. That was bringing me great inner feelings, great success, and I got after that happened. I was operating from the ego, and I can tell you full well, like, don't get me wrong, your ego is there for a reason. Like, when you get to connect with somebody on a physical level, that's what the ego is there for. You are allowed to really get into your ego when you, for instance, have intercourse with somebody. I don't know why I have to be all technical like that, but when you have intercourse with somebody, when you're out shopping and you see something that you feel like looks good to you, it's in more of a spiritual way that it goes on. And I think that what happens is we we branch off into these tiers of different subcategories in our physical world that we live in. And the more that we go down this road of trying to do something different to make it happen instead of having a different internal experience, is where we get out of alignment, where our relationships start to fall apart. And I I've found ways now and enough materials and different processes and things that I can use from like this Abraham's Hicks book, different little things that I've found online and purchased even, and just from different books that have made it possible for me that when I finally decide in my heart of hearts, okay, everything's not going like I like right now, and I'm gonna figure this out. I've put myself back into alignment within like a day, dude. And when I say alignment, I'm talking about, those days that you have here and there, possibly right now in your life, or anybody else who knows what I'm talking about already has experienced, or like on a consistent basis. where you just feel great, like you're walking on a cloud or whatever. The air, the breeze is moving just right. Like that becomes a more consistent thing when you're at a higher vibration. When you're able to see how in everything you can enjoy your experience. Um, you can find a way to move in the direction that takes you to where there is more, so much more enjoyable experience that whether or not bad experiences exist, you are there. But the thing that you got to realize about that is this: you live in a world of contrast for a reason. Without the contrast, the the feeling of the blessing would be a matter of fact sort of thing, like, oh well, I've been happy for 100 years now. Nothing's wrong in my world, and I'll probably live forever. But what I want you to realize is that reality is a place already. But instead of not having the choice, you do have the choice. So when you finally get that get that relationship or that experience, that spiritual experience you've been looking for, or you get that first $1 million deal, like you are like, yes, this is like the best in life. You know what I mean? But if it's a matter of fact sort of thing that everybody has the same amount of money, everybody can buy every single thing, like the same things. They've already got the best car made, so you don't have to choose from all the best cars. Then I'd say like this: the best way to put that, that's like the end of time, isn't it? Because we're constantly going back and forth between what we want and what we don't want. But the reason I call it the end of time is because I kind of believe that when we finally achieve manifestation wise of what all of us truly want in that moment, we all agree. And when I say that, I'm not talking about necessarily being a human being at this point. I'm talking about when spirit, the one spirit only, the all, the everything, moves past the point of transitioning into the new thing that it's making itself into, or seeming to make itself into, that all the particles will be aligned. And you know how all the planets they talk about in movies or whatever, that when the planets align, yes, okay, but when all the particles of the everything are aligned, we're not talking about a straight line necessarily. We're not talking about a necessarily a circular, everything fits in the pattern in a consistent manner. We're talking about when everything is together in that state of harmony and can communicate with each other, with each particle. Each particle can communicate with every other particle at the same time instantaneously. Boom, we're there. So yeah, these little videos are fun to make. Like, uh, I'll be honest, like in the physical world, I have not too many viewers yet or whatever, but a couple people pop by and look at it, and in vibration, millions, maybe even billions of people have viewed my videos. So I just, that kind of is like one of those things that makes me feel like in my heart of hearts, like, no, I know I'm worth it now. You know what I mean? When I say, like, that's something I'd love for you to start saying. Anything you feel like you don't have in your life, like, and if nothing else, you know what you can say? It's in vibration. And maybe where you're at in life, people will laugh. But you know what? You're not telling your mind anymore that you don't have enough money. Maybe right now, my money's in vibration, and I am choosing not to get that thing, or I'm choosing, but I chose one way or another. Either I chose choices that left me with not with um, with a smaller amount of the physical manifestation of the money, but you know what? It's going to come true for me. I am fine with the process happening this way because I've set up that I have an infinite amount of whatever it is that I want in vibration in this wonderful universe that I live in. And I go through times where I may feel a feeling of lack, but there is a way to focus back on abundance. And that's what I'm going to do. Anyways, I'm going to get me some rest after I take a shower and put myself into the alpha state. And I want you to know from the bottom of my heart that I know that you're worthy, okay? My life experience has shown me that you're worthy. I feel like there's enough backstory in like these books that I've read, these other people that have achieved success, and I'm here to tell you that you can do, you can make those results that you want to come, and you can also do that thing that way that you want to, that you feel like is very considerate of um, all the people that you'll be giving a product or a service to. You can do it, dude. Like, that's what our world's becoming right now. That's what everything is balancing into. Like, that's what I'm gonna do, dude. I'm going to give tremendous value to the people that are in my life. It's gonna be like a matter of fact thing, and I'd love to see us all be a part of it, dude. Like, whoever you are right now, like, I'd love to see that you cared so much about doing that thing that you wanted to, and you also believed that you could do it, and do it in what you would call the right way or whatever. Like, treat people with respect, not bamboozle them to get what you want, because you really are that powerful. We are that powerful. I don't know what exactly that you're going through right now. It could be wonderful. It could be uh, something that's caused a lot of source of pain for you, but start moving in that direction, dude. I'm telling you, like, if nothing else, this book right here is on Amazon for like what, $13 or whatever, dude. It. If you, whatever it is, find one way to make the money and go get the book. This book's great. The Essential Law of Attraction collection. It's got 3 books in it: The Law of Attraction, The Law of Attraction and Money, and the last one's called The Vortex, one of my personal favorites. And another one to check out is this book called Ask and It's Given. And use the things that are in it. You don't have to force yourself. Give yourself time with this and use this and enjoy, and find a way with what you're doing to enjoy it as you go, because nothing could be better than that, could it? I'll leave you with that question. You have a wonderful evening, morning, or afternoon, and I will be back with a new video. I feel like in my heart of hearts sometime really soon, even though I've taken a little break off, getting myself back where I needed to be. Anyways, I love you. You are great. You're worthy. Bye-bye.